justice or what is morally right? And there's three cases at the moment in the news where there's this question between what is morally right and what is legally appropriate. So Dame Alison Rose apparently is going to have her pay docked by by NatWest. Why? Because the £10 million that she thinks she's going to get is compromised by the way she behaved with Mr. Farage. And entirely right too. It took the board some time to come to that conclusion, but it's come to that conclusion because that's the right thing to do. I don't think it's come to that conclusion because of pressure from the public. It may have done, in which case it's mealy-mouthed and soiled. But if it came to that conclusion because it's the right thing to do, then that's appropriate. I entirely agree. It is the right thing to do. Then there's Tommy Robinson, and Tommy Robinson is threatened with going back to jail because a little film, a scurrilous film that he presented in court, which apparently was some sort of ginormous conspiracy theory where everyone was plotting against him. This was suppressed by the judge, and it's got out. It's got out and was released about 7 months ago in a cinema in America. And now, he says he has nothing to do with it, and suddenly, on the eve of the Armistice Day crisis, he faces a call to go back to court. Of course, he's likely to fight it, and I think he probably should fight it. It is outrageous that something that happens in another country and that one insists has nothing to do with oneself should then have an impact on one's freedom. That's one point of view. Another point of view is, of course, he is calling people to march at the Poppy Day rally in defiance of the Palestinian marches going on at the same time. Now, of course, there's going to be some of you saying, oh, it's on a Saturday, Tim. Don't be silly. It's on a Saturday, not the Sunday. Yeah, the marches are going to be taking place on both days, and there'll be a remnant of both parties marching on both days. The big march for the Palestinians is on the Saturday. The big march for the Armistice Day and the big Poppy Day celebration attended by the King will lead that cenotaph celebration, is on the Sunday. But Armistice Day is the Saturday, and there will be people in London commemorating the armistice on the Saturday and holding various rallies. And there will be people, I understand, from the pro-Palestinian lobby marching on Sunday as well. So, you know, I don't think I've got my facts wrong there. So there's Dame Alison Rose, Tommy Robinson, and then there is Suella Braverman. Now, I don't think it's about the pressure of the people power, which is going to dictate whether Suella Braverman stays or goes. It's certainly not going to be a headline on the front page of the Daily Mail. Get rid of Suella Braverman and you're attacking us. No. It's about, again, what is morally right. Is it morally right, or is it politically right for the person who leads the police, the Home Secretary, to publicly criticize the police and to divide people rather than unite people? It's the job of the Home Secretary. It's the job of all leading politicians in our country to unite, not to divide. And Suella Braverman has been taking so many opportunities to divide. The Labour Party have alleged that this is because she is really conducting her own personal leadership campaign to ensure that when Rishi is done, and he's being stretched very thin, when Rishi is done, she will take over. Yvonne Cooper was shocked the other day to find that Suella Braverman wasn't in the chamber to answer questions about her behaviour. And maybe I need to add that to the videos, but it was a very strident speech and a very good speech. And but it wasn't the speech of the opposition, it was the speech of a government minister. And that's the extraordinary thing. What Suella Braverman is now doing is the sort of rabble-rousing that we would normally expect from a scurrilous member of an opposition party. What Yvette Cooper is doing is the calm, considered speech of a government minister. If you have any doubt at all that the Labour Party is the government in waiting, look at Yvette Cooper. And I had said not very long ago that I was concerned that there really wasn't a front bench in the Labour Party to take over. That front bench is emerging as need demands, because the front bench of the Conservative Party is proving so hostile to government. I cannot think if there has ever been a time when the Home Secretary has criticised the police so directly. The police is not some manifestation of the BBC. Even criticising the BBC, I think, goes slightly too far. These conversations can take place behind scenes. They really shouldn't be on the front pages of the newspaper on a day-to-day basis. And it's not just Suella Braverman, it's also Rishi Sunak. Both of them have criticised the police. Both of them are wrong. But and this is a moral consideration, and I think that's the point that goes through all three issues. It's a moral consideration. Is it morally right to accept money when you have brought shame on the institution that you're working for? Is it morally right to stay in office when you have brought shame on the institution and the country that you are working for? Is it morally right to put somebody in jail for something that took place in another country 7 months ago, simply because it's convenient to get him out of the way? All of these are moral questions. They're not legal questions. And we need to rise to the moment and tackle these things as moral questions rather than questions about the amount of viewers that we've got, the amount of likes that we get for a particular video, the amount of noise that we can make. It's not about marching. It's not about a fanfare of public outcry. It's about what is morally right and what is morally wrong.